Welcome back. It's the Cosmic Forecast with your cosmic besties. I'm Kaitlyn Kaerhart, best-selling author, numerologist, and astrologer, and this is my best friend Sophie Wan.
Astrologer and spiritual guide.
That's right. And we're here to talk about the week of, hold on, I think it's June 16th through the
16th.
22nd.
Yes.
I'm so bad at this. I always forget what week we're talking about. I have absolutely no sense of time anymore. And we've actually been off the last 2 weeks because this one has been gallivanting across Europe, living her best Mediterranean life. Isn't that right?
That's Spanish life, actually.
Yeah. What was the best place you went to?
I actually really loved Valencia. It's like a hidden
Mm.
gem, in my opinion, and the food's amazing. Like, I had no idea the food's so amazing.
As good as San Sebastian?
No, I mean, that's just like
Dude.
so good. But like, it could rival, it was phenomenal.
Damn.
Phenomenal.
So you had a good time? You enjoyed your 2 weeks off? This is our cosmic catch up, by the way.
I know. I mean, I did have a great time, but like, not gonna lie, I was like stressed with life stuff, so I did end up getting sick twice on this trip.
Girl,
And you
that's
could be
not like you.
vacationing, and if you're stressed, you will still get sick because your symptoms will manifest in your body, the stress. So, although I really enjoyed myself, I was like freaking out about life stuff, and then of course made myself sick.
Yeah. I've been there
Hmm.
so many times in my life. I'm like constantly bringing myself back to my nervous system and like, okay,
Hmm.
reset the nervous system. Deep breaths.
I
Like
know.
I was just meditating before this. I was just lying in my bed listening to frequencies. I had like my hand on my chest. I was like, okay, feel
Mm.
energized and magnetized. Like,
Yeah, I mean, I love your nervous system reset video. I actually shared it in my newsletter because I was like, this week is one of the weeks was like a very not fun week. And I was like, if you need to calm down, listen to this. So,
thank you. Yeah, dude, nervous system reset has been like such a game changer for me. And we'll put a link to it's just 5 minutes, this meditation that I recorded for nervous system reset. And I actually got a lot of good feedback on that meditation, which is awesome.
yeah, what's been going on with you? You're back in LA. I know you were in Austin for a little bit, for like a
Like
hot second.
literally in the last week, I was in North Carolina, Austin, and now LA. I have moved so many times, been on so many flights. It's been such a whirlwind. Like, I feel so discombobulated. I was talking to Molly yesterday and I was like, man, I can't believe I've been in LA for 4 days already. And like, so much has happened. And she's like, you've been here for 2 days. And I was like, oh my God. Like, seriously, life is like going a million miles a minute. But I feel like so many things are manifesting right now. And I'm just like, okay, I got this. I can handle this. Like, it's definitely pushing me to be like this new version of myself that can hold more, and I feel it, like I feel it so intensely in my body, and I'm saying yes to a lot of things, but I'm just trusting that like it's all leading me somewhere.
Yeah. Well,
It's a
that's
lot.
exciting.
It's
I'm
a lot
like,
for the second year of holistic.
I can't wait for I can't wait for you to share more of what that is
Yeah, well, I follow the 90-day rule. I don't
in
talk
due
about
time.
I don't
Yeah.
talk about anything in the first 90 days. You can't. That's when
Hmm.
the vessel is being built. But anyways, we don't want to talk y'all's ears off too long. So we know you're here for the numerology and the astrology of the week. So let's get into it. And this week is a numerological 7. Woo! Are you bummed? Are you upset about that?
Yeah.
Why?
I hate the seven.
Whoa, hey now. I mean, Bruce Lee was a 7. You don't hate Bruce Lee.
That's true. I don't.
Yeah, exactly.
But it just feels like it's been a bumpy ride the past few weeks, at least personally for me, even though I've been like having a great time in España, but like I just and just looking at the astrology, I'm like, I don't know. We'll talk about that, but sorry, let's go more into what the seven means.
Well, what I do want to say about the 7, so the 7 is the most spiritual number in numerology, besides the 11, and it's a very grounded energy. It's all about like knowledge gathering, being singular focused and going within. Like I'd say those are like the three big themes for the week. And this is a week where you're going to want to be more solitary. You're not going to want to be as social as you might normally be. And that's because the seven is all about finding the answers that are within, right? Like that's kind of the whole ethos of the seven is that the answers are already within us. We just have to access them. So it's a time for you to get like really clear on what you want, what you're building, like what your like spiritual practices are, like what makes you feel grounded and calm and good. And I actually think this goes really well with what you were saying to me earlier, Sophie, that you've been reworking on your website. You've been kind of, switching up some of your offerings. And I feel like that's really all about the seven because after the seven comes the eight, right? And the eight's all about money and power and achievement. But in the seven, that's when we kind of like recalibrate and we're like, wait a minute, let me clean up everything on the back end. Let me gather new information so I can implement it. So I can be very singular focused on the tasks ahead. And then in the eight energy, which will be next week, that's when it's like, oh, this is launched. I'm reaping the rewards of this. I've opened a money portal, that sort of thing. So it's a really good time to just get like really, really focused on one thing. Like for me, I know that I've been traveling so much that I feel like so discombobulated. So this week I'm really going to focus on like, okay, what are the actual main priorities I have and the goals I have and actually executing? Because I started to do that before I left Asheville and then it was just a whirlwind. So I'm like, okay, what are the things that I need to kind of like get back on track? And honestly, I probably won't be able to launch this one thing I've been working on for like the last 2 months until next week. So it's that kind of energy. So I don't think that's bad. I think you'll
Yeah.
have like some spiritual epiphanies. I think everybody will. And if you do, let us know. Go ahead and comment and let us know what kind of spiritual breakthroughs you're having or what you're being singular focused on. But overall, I'd say it's a peaceful energy as long as you're okay just sitting with yourself and going with it, which I know many people are not.
Yeah. No, thank you for that. Thank you for reassuring me it's gonna be okay.
It
And
it's always good.
true. And you're so right. I mean, like, it's so interesting because before I left for Europe for a month, and then like 2 days into my trip, I decided to end my lease.
Mm-hmm.
And I was feeling a lot of financial pressure. So I'm like, you know what? We got to get out of this. And then I was like, oh my God, I have nowhere to live. And I was kind of freaking out and stressed out. And like, I'm like, okay, you know what? I just got to trust in the universe that like God delivers the right place for me. And like, I got to like Hakuna Matata and Kumbaya my way through, and just focus on like what I actually need to do and like the tactical things I need to do. And so thank you for reminding me about like the goals because I've been on this whole kick about if you have goals, reprioritize them if you're like kind of scattered, which like I feel like you and I both can relate to that. And
We're
then
scared.
focus on completing each goal one by one versus doing a little bit of this, doing a little bit of that, and getting all like discombobulated with even just like what you're trying to achieve. So, um, that's very uplifting. So thank you for talking me through that and
I'm
us,
all about
because I'm
lifting the
sure other
people.
people are feeling that way.
Yeah. I'm all about the uplift, out here doing the Lord's work as best I can, spreading the gospel of the
You're
world.
doing the Lord's work.
You keep cutting out. Is it blurry on your end too?
No, I'm good.
That's so weird. You keep like really blurring out. Hopefully that's not in the recording. But anyways, moving on, y'all. There's a lot happening astrologically. I don't even know how we're going to get through all this. I'm looking at the notes
It's
and
not that bad. We've had worse. We'll just get through it step by step. Let's start with Wednesday, June
Mhm.
18th, Jupiter square Neptune. It's not a vibe. Um, and Jupiter is all about growth, and opportunities. Neptune is illusions, delusions, but also inspiration, aka like Venus on crack. And when it's
I
in a
see
square,
Neptune being like highly, highly creative.
hmm.
but like the most creative people tend to be Delulu. And
Oh
I'm
yeah.
highly creative. So like I'm not like calling people out. I'm saying I could be Delulu too. That's like sometimes the Salulu. But what I was gonna say is I
Hmm.
also see Jupiter rules Sagittarius, and it is all about gathering knowledge. So this really goes well with the seven.
Oh yeah. But I also think the fact that it's in a square, to
Yeah.
me, this energy reads as like learning something that may actually lead to a big breakthrough in a belief that you previously had that at first initially may be like rejecting it. You may be like, oh my God, no. But then actually you come to a place of like, oh, that actually makes a lot of sense and it feels like more aligned.
Mm.
But that square aspect is going to be a little bit jarring. So like around Wednesday. So I would even say like Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, you kind of have like a moment of that spiritual breakthrough coming through. And that initially you might be like a little bit triggered, but to like take a step back, not get so caught up in the delulu and refocus on like integrating the learning.
God, I've had so many moments like that the past few weeks, especially because remember stuff that was happening in
Oh
Asheville that
yeah.
we never caught up on.
I know. I'm like, we gotta catch up on that because I'm like,
I don't even know how to process that. I'm still processing it. Okay, y'all. I'm not ready to talk about it. Not ready to talk about it. But yeah, I've definitely been having a lot of come to Jesus moments where I'm like, am I the problem?
mm,
Do I hold on? Like, wait a minute. I need to kind of relook at this thing that's bothering me in a new way. Or
yeah.
just like, I've been really surprised lately. That's been a thing where I'm
Yeah.
like, assuming something's going to go one way, thinking something's going to pan out one way, and then I'm like, oh, didn't go that way. I need to just be more neutral, right?
Mhm. Yeah. Yeah.
I definitely see that as kind of what you're talking about.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's like Wednesday is the
Mhm.
peak. And then Friday is actually a really great day because it's the summer solstice.
Woo woo.
I know. And so that is a day of celebration. It is like the true halfway point of the year. And solstices are the longest day of the year, the summer solstice. And it's all about celebration, manifestation, but like it's a really, really great day of resetting intentions, which really actually aligns nicely with the seven of like being introspective, really like reflecting.
Yeah.
And so that's Friday. And so I would actually really encourage everyone for Friday, do something to like celebrate yourself, celebrate perhaps what you've already achieved through the year, and then really reset what new manifestations or like what you want to recommit to. So that is for Friday. So we're
I
already
also
kind of
want
like,
to say that the sun moves into Cancer on Friday as well. So not only is it the summer solstice in the northern hemisphere, but it's Cancer season, which is Sophie's season.
yeah, woo, my season,
Woo woo woo.
Scentsy season, all about the feels.
That's
So
right, baby.
yeah. And then Sunday is an interesting day, and that's really kind of when the week ends. And we've got two aspects going on. Mars sextile Jupiter, which is like a positive aspect that kind of like fires you up for like your goals and like getting out there and like implementing and taking action because
Oh
Mars
yeah.
is the planet of action.
I love this Mars sextile Jupiter energy.
Yeah, and it happens right after the solstice, so it's just like so nice.
Yeah, so you're probably gonna have a huge burst of energy after the solstice where you're just like, okay, I actually am very clear because we're in the week seven, right? So you're gathering the knowledge, you're getting singular focus on something. The solstice happens, you feel this burst of energy, and then this Mars sextile Jupiter. You're like, cool, I know exactly what to do with the new knowledge I have, and it's time to take action.
Exactly. So that same day, though, we also have the Sun square Saturn,
Oh,
which I know.
dude, way to rain on my parade. I was all like, woo woo, Sunday. Now I'm like, fuck, yo.
This aspect is all about like getting real with yourself because the sun is about your ego. It is your identity. And then Saturn is about discipline and focus and boundaries and responsibility. And like the Saturn is like what really grounds us to like commit. It's commitment. Whereas in the sun, sometimes like, when you get carried away with the ego, you start kind of making all these like ridiculous grand plans and you're not being realistic about, okay, well, actually, this is the real shit. And so I actually think that that aspect is a really grounding aspect because it's not like your goals and what you achieve happen like by just blinking your eyes.
They
I think
don't.
I think it takes actual energy and thought and work. And people think, oh yeah, miracles, they don't take any work. To some degree, like one could argue that the real work is like the work we have to do in here, which is the hardest work. So I think it kind of like is like a moment of like, hey, check yourself so you don't wreck yourself. Yeah. So that's Sunday. So I mean, it is quite a week.
There's a lot going on, and everyone is also very like excited about Jupiter being in Cancer too, which has happened since you've been in Spain. So we do have that excitement that's hopefully going to be carrying some of these more difficult aspects that we're facing.
Yeah. I mean, I think that difficult aspects and challenges are simply just opportunities for us to rise to the occasion and to level up. And so I actually think of those as like, we got to reframe that as like, these are gifts for us. Like, how lucky am I to have these challenges? How
Yeah,
lucky
it's
am
our
I to
glow
be
up.
exactly. So, yeah, that's kind of what's going on. So, see, that wasn't too bad.
Oh,
You
okay. We're
okay?
still having some tech issues. Are you there?
Yeah.
Sorry, y'all who are listening, that this might be like a really janky forecast. On my end, Sophie keeps cutting out, and I actually don't know what's going on. So hopefully you guys aren't seeing that, but that's what's happening on my end. But all right, so we got the astrology, we got the numerology. I feel prepared. It's not the worst week we've had, but I'm gonna manifest it's the best week. I was gonna say it's not the worst and it's not the best. And I'm like, you know what? Who's to say this isn't gonna be the best week of all of our lives? This is what I'm manifesting right now for the entire collective.
Thank you so much. I'm gonna carry that intention with me. And I actually am excited about the solstice I'm gonna celebrate.
Yeah, I think the solstice will be really fun.
Yeah, agree.
All right, guys. Well, thank you so much for being here. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button. We will be back next week, I believe.
Yes, we
And
will.
have an amazing week. Let us know how you're doing and toodaloo. Never said that in my life. Toodles. It's been a long week, y'all, but we're showing up, okay? We're
A
showing
lot of
up.
things, but that's not one.
I'm so tired. Somebody help me. Oh, okay. We'll see y'all next week.
Bye.
Toodles.